So earlier today, Woj reported that the Lakers are holding on to first-round picks. Woj reports LA won't trade its 2027 and 2029 unprotected first-round picks unless it gets an All-Star in return. Now, what he specifically said, because it was a video, he was talking on ESPN, and he said that that they won't trade those picks very likely. Now, it wasn't a report in the sense of like, hey, I have information, I've talked to the Lakers, and the Lakers said that they're not going to do this. It is basically him saying that he doesn't see the Lakers trading the 2027, 2029 picks unless it's for an all-star or close to all-star level player, all-star caliber. He says it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be a Bradley Beal. It could be somebody that is that's going to have an impact, right? They don't want to just trade the picks just to trade the picks, which makes sense. I mean, he's not saying anything that is like shocking. He's not saying anything that's surprising, but a lot of like the talks is that like, oh, look, the Lakers might not trade their picks. The Lakers are, they need to do a deal. The Lakers are looking for deals, right? Rob Pelinka, I imagine, is actively trying to find something. At least I hope so. I hope he's not waiting for the 15th to start looking at deals. I hope that he's actually like right now actively having negotiations, having discussions. He also relayed a Woj that, the Lakers and many other teams have had plenty of conversations of just not so much like actual trade negotiations, but just like, hey, what are you looking for? And that we can provide you, and having these back and forths. Like that's something that Woj reiterated on the show, right? He said, hey, Lakers have talked with plenty of teams, and many other teams have talked with each other. And a lot of teams, there's very few teams that have actually had negotiations for like, hey, we'll give you this for this. Rather, it's more of like, hey, out of our players, which players are you interested in? And which players do you want that fit a need? Or what are you looking for? And in the Lakers case, it's like, 3-point shooting and sizable weight. So they're calling teams and trying to see like who's available. Because that's the big thing. What teams are going what direction? Like a team like Chicago, right? Is Chicago going to decide to blow it up? Which Woj even mentioned Chicago as a team to like keep an eye on. Again, like these are all stuff that make a lot of sense. That could add up to like, hey, Chicago's a team that could very well start having a fire sale, and the Lakers are looking for players that the Bulls have, like somebody that could be an all-star that could come in and really change the landscape of the Lakers. Somebody like a DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic, guys like that. So that is interesting. But it also falls in line with one of the trades that we've talked about, like a guy like Bojan Bogdanovic. Again, it doesn't have to be an all-star player. They just want somebody that's playing at like an all-star level. Well, Bojan is a player like that. Bojan is a player that can come in and make an impact, give you 20 plus a game. He's shooting 50, 40, 90, would be a perfect slot-in player for the Lakers, easily fit into that 3 spot for the Lakers. And then you could have like Schroeder, Walker, Bojan, LeBron, and Davis. Right now you got a little bit of everything on that team. Defense is a bit of a concern, but what he would provide this team would be huge. If you could also get like a Sadiq Bey or something like that, then that just adds some value too. But the Lakers aren't just going to trade picks just to trade picks, right? Rob Pelinka has made that very clear. I have one shot at this. I'm not going to mess this up. It has to be for the right deal that we feel really takes us over the top. But the Lakers have shown that they're close, right? Like, obviously today was a bad game, and many people are probably going to look at that game, but look, we missed Wayne Gabriel, Anthony Davis, LeBron James. There's pretty much all of our size right there on a team that doesn't already have a bunch of size. So we already lost all of our size there. And then on top of that, you're playing probably the worst matchup you could for the team we have without Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Wayne Gabriel. And the Toronto Raptors, where their entire team is nothing but like 6-7 guys and above, right? Like their entire roster is a bunch of like just wing players that are all the same size. So I don't really put much into that loss. Even it didn't matter who we had. I mean, we could add Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, and we're still losing this game. Without LeBron James, Anthony Davis, like they're still the key. It doesn't matter what trade we do. It doesn't matter what move we do. If Anthony Davis and LeBron James miss 30 games this year, the Lakers are in trouble regardless, right? So they have to stay healthy. But if they could stay healthy, they have shown that this team is very capable of being in the conversation, right? They're not a contender yet, in my opinion, but I wouldn't be shocked. Like, I don't think anyone would be surprised, especially the way Anthony Davis is playing right now. LeBron's kind of allowed him to blossom and kind of be the guy. Like, if the Lakers won the championship, I don't think there's this entire team or an entire person that looks at that and goes, there is no way the Lakers just won the championship. You know, we're not talking about like Orlando here. You know, as much as people like to talk and make fun and pretend like they are, you still got LeBron James and Anthony Davis. You still have two top 10 players at the worst, right? LeBron's still a top 10 guy at the worst. Anthony Davis right now is arguably the best player on the planet the way he's playing, but let's say he's, top 5. I mean, how many teams have a top 5 and a top 10 guy on their roster, let alone 2 top 10 guys? Not very many teams. Like, is James Harden still a top 10 player? I don't know. If he is, then maybe Philly is a team that has 2 top 10 players, but like outside of that, like, Phoenix doesn't have that. Milwaukee doesn't have that. The Grizzlies don't have that. The Nuggets don't have that. So the Lakers are still in a very good position. It's just about staying healthy, getting the right pieces around them. I still think, and look, there's no analysis, there's nothing behind this. This is just my thought, which is I think the Lakers are going to make a play on Bojan Bogdanovic. I really do. Again, like, he's a player that the Lakers have been linked to for some time now, right? He's a player that they really want. Detroit, I think, really would trade him. I think that they signed him to the extension because it gives them more flexibility. And a lot of teams were worried that Bojan wanted, like 4 years, $100 million. And they were able to get him on, a 2-year extension at around like $19 million a year. So that was like value for a lot of teams. So I think now Lakers have a real opportunity to maybe go get Bojan Bogdanovic and add him to the team. It also makes sense why Rob Pelinka moved the post to December 15th, because the Detroit deal, out of all the trade speculation, out of all the teams, out of all the players, out of everything, the one deal that can't happen right now is this deal, is the Bojan Bogdanovic deal. Like, the Spurs trade could happen right now. The Hornets deal could happen right now. A Pacers deal could happen right now. Chicago, if Chicago even wanted to make a deal, could happen right now. Like, every single deal that we have heard can all happen right this second, except for Bojan Bogdanovic. So hopefully Rob Pelinka has already done his due diligence. He's already talked and worked it out. I'm not saying a deal is going to happen on the 15th, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happens like shortly after. And hopefully they have it worked out, ready to go. We are, 8 days away at the time of recording this video? We are 8 days away from meeting that December 15th deadline. And so hopefully when that happens, trades start lining up, right? And the Lakers can start making moves. And also it helps because you can unload, Damian Jones, stuff like that. Maybe they're trying to get like an Alec Burke also. Maybe they're trying to work out a multiplayer deal. But Bojan kind of fits, in my opinion, also what Woj reported. But again, Woj was just talking about whatever. But regardless, Rob Pelinka, he has to get the job done. He has to do something. You can't just sit on your thumbs and stand pat, right? Like, he's got to actually make a move. Obviously you don't want to do a trade just to do a trade. And that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying he needs to find a trade that can move the needle for us. I don't think it has to move the needle a ton. Get the Lakers into the playoffs and trust that LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, and, Bojan or whoever you end up trading for, or if you end up trading Russ, then, whatever pieces those are, whatever. If you end up doing that, trust that they are going to be able to lead you to the promised land, especially in the Western Conference. Western Conference is so wide open. Like, there's nobody in the West that I look at and just go, man, the Lakers have no chance against that team. There's not a single team in the West that I fear. I think the Lakers have a real opportunity and could really surprise a lot of people and come out of the Western Conference. Maybe that's just a fan in me, but I really do. I really believe that that the Lakers can make that happen. But anyway, as always, is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. What do you think? Think the Lakers should make the deal? Think they shouldn't? Think they should make the trade? Think they shouldn't? What deal would you want? Now, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, good, bad, ugly, somewhere in between, I'd love to hear them. Let me know down in the comments.
That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly